wonder if you'd explain a little bit about your program on helping people in Guatemala.
Well, Ralph, thanks for asking. I work with a group called Helps International, started in the early 80s by some very good people that decided they wanted to make a difference in one of our neighbors in Central America. It's a country that had been ravaged by civil war for 30 years. A recent peace treaty signed in 1996 gave us the opportunity to start to heal some of the wounds that were caused during that lengthy period. I'm a physician, and I do reconstructive surgery and vision reconstruction surgery in the form of cataract surgery. So it seemed like a natural fit. About 10 years ago, I became involved with that group and have organized vision restoration teams and plastic surgery of the face teams to handle burns, machete wounds, and other tumors of the face. So it's been my pleasure to work with them and to have them allow me to join their wonderful effort.
I know what you've done has really helped a lot of people, and it's a huge project that you do in generating the funding to do that and getting all the doctors to help. You alone, I think, probably in this particular area, would be able to define what a true hero is. What is heroism to you?
It's a hard question to answer because I'm a little uncomfortable with the word hero in regard to the work we do. I feel fortunate to be able to organize teams and to work with other people who share those goals. And what we're doing is what we do here. We're just taking that product somewhere where it's not available and making it available to people without access to care. So in terms of my being a hero, I guess I understand the purpose of the web page, and I'm honored to be included in that group. But I think it's just an opportunity that God gave to me, and that I've tried to do something with and share with others and grow it into a bigger and better thing.
What is your perspective on goodness, ethics, and moral behavior?
You know, we make a commitment to ourselves, and we lead life in the way that we choose. The standards we use help us to define who we are and how comfortable we are being the people that we are. I try to lead my life by the tenet that I do what makes me happy, with the express caveat that it doesn't harm others, and the sincere hope that it helps others.
There's a real question about sacrificing your life for others. There's people that run into a burning building, or troops in the military that give their lives. Sometimes there's people that sacrifice their lives in helping others. What is your perspective on sacrificing your life?
Well, I have several lives. You know, I have a professional life here. I'm fortunate to be in private practice in San Diego and to be able to earn a reasonable income. With that responsibility comes providing for my family. I have young boys and a wife, and I want to provide for them an education and the opportunities that come with the first world. Beyond that, though, and what is left over allows me to carry, with their support, that willingness to help others into another world, into a world where those conditions aren't as favorable for young people to have educations and for people to have access to medical care. So when you put it all together, you have to have a healthy first life existence if you're going to work in the third world. And combining the two and keeping both worlds working in symbiosis is a difficult thing, but very rewarding.
When was the lowest point in your life, and how did you change your path to win a victory over all obstacles?
Wow, that's a tough question. I had a pretty bad injury in the early 80s in a small ultralight plane crash, and came very close to dying and or becoming a paraplegic. But I healed, had several months while I was in hospitals and convalescing to reflect on the issues in life that are really important. And I think that was a good refocusing point, sort of in the middle of my life to date, to stop and evaluate the directions I was going and ensure that everything counts.
Do you have a dream or a vision that sets the course of your life?
I think that's an evolving dream. I want to stay involved with our work in Guatemala. Helps International has been such a great organization to work with. Their president, Steve Miller, has been such a friend to me and an inspiration for the development of this large organization that's literally helped hundreds of thousands of people to date over the time that we've been involved together. I'd like to evolve my professional life to a point where my financial situation allows me more opportunities to travel into Guatemala. I also want to develop the youngsters that we take with us. We take high school students and young doctors and nurses into this environment and give them an introduction to humanitarian care and these causes at a time when they're still early in their development, where the seed can be planted and can grow for many years. I think that's been the greatest reward over the last few years of my involvement with humanitarian work.
Do you take a positive view of setbacks, misfortunes, and mistakes?
I think these are all part of our lesson pack, and if you do have a setback and you absorb only the negative from that setback, then it's just that, a setback. But if you evaluate it and find out why you were set back by this and learn from it and go forward, then it becomes a valuable lesson.
Do you think that it's important to be an optimist?
I think some days you can be an optimist. There are days when I'm definitely pessimistic and I need to work and understand why I feel that way. But the more I work towards being an optimist, I guess, the better and more productive I am.
Do you feel that it takes courage to pursue new ideas and new paths in your life?
Does it take courage to pursue new ideas and paths? Well, one of my preceptors somewhere along the way in my medical education said, out of all your new ideas, maybe only 10% will work. So if you have a lot of ideas and you're going a lot of directions, you're throwing a bigger net out there, then your yield and the opportunity to make some of those come true increases. I guess every new idea I have, I don't expect to be a success. But by becoming involved with many new ideas, I sort of increase my opportunity to have one or two of them work out.
It's taken a long time for you to become a doctor. I mean, many years of school and just training. That sort of is a denial of immediate gratification. Do you think that experiencing that discomfort and that long-term sacrifice, do you think that it's worth it to achieve your goals?
I do. I tell some of my patients when they come in and they ask questions and they want to understand everything about their care that I'm in 28th grade. You know, it's taken a long time to get to this level of understanding. I really work hard to get them to understand their disease or their process or their surgery. But some of the details are hard to explain without that scientific base.
Do you think that it's important to believe that your dreams will become reality?
I think you need to believe that they will become reality, but you also need to accept that not all of them may become reality. And when they do, what can you do to redirect and approach it from a different direction to make those dreams come true? I believe if you have a true desire to go into medicine or to law or to any specialty or any trade, that if you work hard enough at it and you don't give up, that opportunity will eventually open itself to you. As you pursue that, though, you may find along the way that other opportunities are more desirable to you, and maintaining that truth and the flexibility to change that dream is very important to being healthy.
Everybody has doubts and fears. How are you able to overcome your doubts and fears?
I guess I think about the doubts and fears after I get involved in something. I do tend to have thoughts as I start on a new project, or most recently when we went to Guatemala and I was taking 3 16-year-old high school students with me, and the responsibility of having them with me on the team and what that meant. And you know, had I yielded to those fears, I would have given up on the greatest gift and opportunity that I've been given to date. So I analyze those fears and doubts, but I sort of work through them in a healthy, somewhat aggressive way.
Is there anybody or anything that's given you the willpower to change your life for the better?
I think there's probably hundreds of people in my life and in history that I've studied and learned from. They're family members, my mother, my father, all of the other people that have influenced me along the way. Probably too numerous to list. I've been very blessed to be surrounded by wonderful people that have given me the opportunity to develop in whatever direction I could.
Do you think that it's important to forgive those who upset, offend, and oppose you?
Absolutely. Anger and remorse and guilt really are not productive things. I think that you need to, with confrontation, resolve it inside yourself, because the only anger that you have is your own. You can't control other people's anger, and letting go of that and moving through it has allowed me and will allow others to be the best that they can be.
Do you experience service to others as a source of joy?
Oh, absolutely, I do. Working in another country, working here, just in my job, my daily job as a physician here, I get my greatest paycheck and my greatest reward from a happy, satisfied patient, and that could be in the first world, the third world, or somewhere in between.
What place does the power of prayer have in your life?
I believe each of us has their own higher power. Mine is God, and I seek advice from God and try to lead my life in a way that I think would be pleasing to Him.
Do you think that it's important to maintain a sense of humor in the face of serious problems?
Humor is a very valuable thing. It helps us to deal with some of the internal emotions that we're having, grief and other things, and how we use that humor can be a very healthy habit.
Who are the heroes in your life today?
My parents, my family members, my uncles, the physicians that have trained me, the mentors that have worked with me along the way, prior career, the instructors that helped me to learn to fly and to pursue those goals. These are all people that I'm blessed to have had in my life.
Why are heroes so important in the lives of young people?
I think when we're young, we can be shaped easier. The clay is still not set, and those people that provide us with insight into the direction they took and can sort of help us along that path are very valuable to us.
How do people become heroes?
I don't know. That's a hard one. Again, I'm a little uncomfortable with the term. I guess the guys that ran into the Twin Towers to pull people out, great risk to their own life, that's probably the most true definition of a hero. I believe how we lead our life and the role model we are for others, to our children, to our community, is a very important part of that, but I'm not sure I would classify that as heroism.
Do you have any good solutions to the problems facing society, especially racism, child and spousal abuse, and violence among young people?
I think aligning ourselves with causes that help others, decrease the focus on ourselves, not lose sight of the focus on ourselves, but become involved in some manner and in some fashion that benefits our society, our culture, people around us, becoming aware of a bigger sphere than just the one we live in. That would change many things in our society today.
What do you think about the In Search of Heroes program and its impact on youth, parents, and business people?
Well, I like your idea, Ralph, of sharing and using the Internet, a tool that can now spread images just as fast as it could spread words in years past, to share stories of others, and by increasing viewership and maybe enticing others to learn about different career paths and different opportunities, we can grow these types of projects to a level much greater than they are today. And it sort of gets back to your question before about how we can do the greatest good for society by enticing people at an early age to become involved, to reshape how they think, how they care for their fellow man. We can make a difference before the tree is grown.
What are the things that parents can do that will help their children realize that they too can be heroes and make a positive impact on the lives of others?
I think the role model that they are, that they provide for their children, the constant care and love and attention that they give them, and by providing the children with boundaries. Today it's just too easy to give up as a parent and let those boundaries stretch as kids push and want to gain new responsibility. Children need to have some boundary. They need to know beyond what point they're violating the trust they have with their parents. By providing that to them at an early age, giving them examples as role models, I think we can shape a better tomorrow.
Do you think it's important to have discipline for your kids? I know there's a question in society these days about parents being their kids' best buddies. Do you think that it's important for parents to actually set the parameters and use discipline to help their kids on the path that they should go?
Absolutely, I do. I do want to be my son's friend, but that's not my first job. My first job is to make sure that when they leave my house, that they have the tools to survive in life, that they're compassionate, caring people, and if I have to lay down the law and become a heavy at times when they want to go different directions, then I will continue to do that, because that's the job I took when they became my rental property, as it were.
Well, I really appreciate your time, Dr. Morton, and is there any parting thought that you'd like to share with the young people that are looking at this video?
Ralph, thanks so much for asking me to be on your webpage. I would just say that it's time to get involved. Your youth is an opportunity to explore new things, and there's all sorts of great opportunities out there. Viewing and being a part of another culture and trying to make a difference is just one thing. There's lots we can do right here at home, and never give up your dreams.
That's great. Thank you so much.